So I just went to court over here in Fairfax County, where I'm facing 15 years possibly, or so I'm told. Maybe I'm not. And now I'm going to tell you why, but from a nice, much more picturesque place than the side of the road in Fairfax County, across the street from the Fairfax County Courthouse. Yeah, I'm going to tell you all about it from a nice place, a much nicer place. Majestic, known to the world. Ready? Woo! So, as I'm told in this country, in the United States, you have the right to face your accuser. Now, someone went and made an anonymous complaint about me to the police, saying that I was going to do certain things. I'm not really supposed to talk about my case, but in this country, you're supposed to be able to face your accuser. And somehow I'm facing 15 years based on some video art I made, a statement I made while I was in distress after being attacked in church and had blood on my face, in a bathroom at a grocery store here in Washington, D.C. So an anonymous complaint mixed with a piece of video art from my YouTube, plus a couple comments on Facebook. Now, that's all fine and dandy, but when they went and showed me the footage of the discovery, I had already known who it was who had made the complaint, but I got to see the police video cam, the body cam, and it's Sean Joyner. I've known Sean Joyner since second grade. Strangely enough, last year when I went to jail, mind you, for 3.5 months and then had no charges afterwards, and granted, this is the same charge I'm facing again this year, but this year I'm facing 15 years. Last year it was 5 to 10 years. This year it's 15 years. So 15 years based on an anonymous complaint, a voicemail that's just jumbled and you can't hear it, which is actually me saying something to him about a piece of art he wanted from me, literally. And then he sees some things on Facebook and thinks I'm going to try and kill a lot of people. Now, interesting. Because then I reached out to someone who's my friend and he said, well, blah, blah, blah. I mean, you can argue, but when you threaten to kill my son, then that's not cool. And I was like, well, Richie, what are you talking about? And he never responded. So I guess what's happening now is Sean Joyner from Reston, Virginia, who I've known since second grade, has spread a rumor among people in Reston, Virginia that I'm going to be killing all their children. Now, instead of contacting me and asking me what's going on, he had the cops come and take me, and that's a whole other story. But to be clear, a man goes into the police department in Fairfax County, says he has an anonymous complaint to make about a man with a violent background and a criminal history. I have no violent background. I have no criminal history. And Sean Joyner is a lawyer and he works for the federal government. Now, I remember seeing him a couple years ago when he bragged about how he didn't have to come into work anymore. He could just work from home. You understand what I'm saying to you? Now, this man, Sean Joyner, is a lawyer. He made a false claim that I have a violent history and a criminal background. I'd like to know when that was and where that criminal background is, Sean Joyner. I don't have a military background. I don't have a criminal background. I've never owned a gun. And I've also signed a piece of paper that says I cannot own a gun unless a judge approves it. I don't have a need for a gun. I'm an artist. I've been living in the bubble of the White House here in Washington, D.C. since the middle of December in 2021. I sat in front of the White House all winter long, every single night from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. from the middle of December until Easter of last year, at which time I did get arrested. I had a few arrests last year. No criminal background at all still, no charges. They were all dropped. They're all dropped after I spent jail time, 3.5 months. That included time in the hole where I was drugged by medical staff and by a trustee. And you lose your mind in there when they keep the lights on for 5 days. Now, this year he says this to the police. And I did not stay in jail that long this year, and they let me out. I was just in court today, though, in Fairfax County, and it's really, really amazing to me that my case was continued and that someone with some sense doesn't just say, hey, this is an anonymous tip from a man we know who it is who's a lawyer and made a false claim about me. Sean Joyner, where did you say that I get a criminal background from? Where's my violent history, bro? Are you aware that I served on the Fredericksburg Area Autism Council, the Fredericksburg Area Council on Transition, the Planning District 16 Reentry Council, and the Community Integration Advisory Commission for the Governor of Virginia, Governor McAuliffe? Are you aware that I was a job coach serving primarily people with severe disabilities for 13 years, as well as running a job help center that got lots of people jobs? Are you aware that I taught adult ESL from 2004 to 2018 part-time professionally with Spotsylvania County Public Schools, teaching people from all over the world how to speak English so they could have a better time here and get along better in the United States? So I don't know what it's all about here in the United States, and I don't know what it's about with the Joyner family, specifically with Sean Joyner. Now, when I was growing up in Reston, I smoked a lot of bunk-ass shitty weed. It's called swag. And they used to spray stuff on that shit. What it exactly they did, I don't know. It's not like the weed I can get today, which is beautiful and excellent and kind. The first time I ever smoked weed was with Sean Joyner and his sister, Jessica, his older sister. And she had a little 4 or 5 inch plastic bong, and I was in 7th grade. And Jessica and her friend and Sean got me stoned. And then we giggled and laughed a lot, and it was weird. Get it? Now, come age 51, all of a sudden he's making up lies about me, and he is a lawyer. And he's a lawyer that's traveled the world since childhood. He's international. Now he works for the federal government, I think Department of Interior. There's got to be something illegal about making false claims like that to have me falsely persecuted. Now, what the case is I'm not going to serve anything. Definitely not 15 years. And I probably will actually not have any charges at all. In fact, this video I'm making right now, I'm not supposed to make, most likely. However, Sean Joyner, what are you thinking? Last year, I went into jail on the 18th, really on the 17th of April, but they didn't process my paperwork till just after midnight on the 18th. Somehow, Sean Joyner was already on my digital contacts on the 18th for people I could speak to. I didn't even know I could talk to people digitally or use devices like that, technology, until the 28th after my second arrest in Fairfax County. And I was like, why is he on there? And check this out. Sean Joyner started a new relationship with a number of people in my family after my incarceration. Interestingly enough, Jennifer Wickham. Jennifer Lolly Wickham and Sean Joyner must be pals. Jennifer said she checked on me every day last year when I was in jail and that she's a legal aid. They said they cared about me last year when I was in jail. And when I got out, they never came to see me. Ever. To care for me, never invited me to dinner, not even to take me out in Reston or take me out to lunch here and see how I'm doing, to check on me. However, when I did get out of jail, the first time last year, late at night on the 19th of April, just before midnight, it was cold outside. I only had a t-shirt that the police gave me when I left, so I stayed in the courthouse in the bathroom. In the morning, talked to the people at the front desk, and then came here into the city. When I finally got off the train, I was walking up to the White House to go see what's going on at my job, or whatever you want to call it, at the White House Peace Vigil, actually where I squatted and lived, which is officially 1601 Pennsylvania Avenue. He was right there, and he's like, hey, I got your backpack, come with me. I had thrown my backpack in the lake at Lake Ann in despair. I said, nah, you go get it, man. He said, oh no, come with me. I was like, you know what, nah. And I went over in front of the White House and he followed me. He's like, come with me, man, come with me, Than. Come with me, bro. People call me Than back then. That's my old nickname, Than. I prefer Nate now, or Nathaniel. Nathaniel's better. But Sean says, come with me, I got your backpack, bro. Come on, man. I'm like, nah, I don't think so. As he's walking away, I hear him say to Filipos Malaku Bello, who runs the White House Peace Vigil, he stole our book, $30,000. Later that night, when I was in the White House Peace Vigil, I woke up in sort of a sleepwalking kind of a daze. That was actually on 4/20. And I got arrested by the Secret Service that night, which they were very kind to me because they know me. I was let out the next day by the Secret Service and later arrested on the train. A lot of strange events that you can't quite see them or hear them all the time, but they happened. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. That's a circle that went around me when I passed out. But guess what, Sean Joyner? I'm not going to get any charges. And you're a lawyer and you broke the law by lying about me. I hope it comes back on you tenfold or 100-fold. You broke the law to have me falsely persecuted. And this year, when I was arrested, I was held in the hole for 5 days with the lights on. I was let out and I got no charges from that. This is a separate thing that you've got me in now for, Sean, that you have me facing. Those 5 days this year, 0 charges, all dropped. So I guess you had your way. I guess Jennifer Wickham Lolly, you're part of the thing too, because you said you checked on me every day last year to make sure I was okay in jail. Every day. And then you tell me how your kids are failing at school and all they want to do is hang out at South Lake Shopping Center. South Lake Shopping Center is where they want to hang out. And that's where we hung out as kids. And I've been up there a lot lately. Until most recently, I'd go there to get tea at Starbucks and sit around and pray and write and draw. And then I realized a bunch of kids there trying to thug on me like we used to thug on adults and other people back in the day. Now, if you look what's happened to the country of the United States since the 70s and the 80s, everybody's trying to thug. Ain't nobody thugging on no parents anymore, no adults. Ain't no children thugging on nobody anymore. So think about what you do in the future. I'm going to think about how I speak in the future, and I'm going to edit my videos a little bit more carefully, as the detective told me to do when he had a conversation with me, and I heard the voicemail I left you, Sean, which was actually after I was in the hole for 5 days, half out of my mind, when I was calling to tell you I was going to leave you get you a painting out of my cousin's attic in Pittsburgh as soon as I can get up there and get my art and figure my stuff out. But unfortunately, you don't listen, and you call me brother till the end, and now you stab me, and you stab me, and you stab me in the back. So that's the story. A tiny bit. I think I'll write a couple books about it. Maybe somebody should buy them and read them. Maybe you should. Hey. So now, I'm no longer just fully encased in the bubble around the White House where I've been since mid-December, minus my jail time, mid-December of 2021. My bubble has expanded to here now, the Capitol. And that's what it's really about. Federal legislation to heal our country and hopefully lead to heal the world. That's what it's about. Federal legislation to heal the country and heal the world. And I've been talking about this with Sean Joyner, John Presser, Greg Corbett, and a number of other people from Reston. And they just don't want to hear it. Oh well. But guess what? The world does. And that's what it's about. And Dr. King, Dr. Martin Luther King, before he was assassinated, called it love force. Dig it. Peace.